Henry's feelings change with his mood. At first he was cavalier in a way guaranteed to irritate me.
"Oh, it doesn't matter. I never read what you write anyway."
At that point, there was talk about whether he would get a share of the profits, and a quick glance at his computer's Google history revealed the phrase, film option. Then, when it dawned on him that people he knows actually do read, he panicked a little. So writing about him became a negotiation, which sometimes he won and sometimes he lost. He was fine about being portrayed as a smart-ass bro. What he worried about was that I might reveal him to be the sweet, caring, wonderful, soon-to-be man he really is. I only slipped a little. There are many good, some great, books about autism. See resources, page 219, about the science, the history, treatments. While this book touches on all these subjects, you will never see a review of it that begins, "If you have to read one book about autism." This is not that one book. It is a slice of life for one family, one kid. But I hope it seems sort of a slice of your life, too. When I wrote the original story about Gus and Siri for the New York Times, Gus was 12. Most of this book takes place when my sons are 13 and 14. When the publisher tears the manuscript from my hands, they will be 15, then 16, when it hits the remainder bin. Kids grow older, and I wanted this book to be accurate, so I would still be writing and changing it if my agent hadn't called me one day and said, "For the love of God, just put a period on it." So I did. Introduction. My kids and I are at the supermarket.
"We need turkey and ham."
Gus tends to speak in exclamation points.
"A half-pound."
And what, Mommy? I'm stage whispering directions, trying to keep the conversation focused on deli meats. Behind the counter, Otto politely slices and listens, occasionally interjecting questions. We're on track here. And then we're not.
"So, my daddy has been in London for 10 days, and he comes back in 4 days, on Wednesday. He comes into JFK Airport on American Airlines Flight 100 at Terminal 8.
Gus says, warming to the subject.
"What?" "Yes, Mom says thin slices. Also coleslaw. Daddy will take the A train from Howard Beach to West 4th and then change to the B or D to Broadway Lafayette. He'll arrive at 77 Bleecker in the morning, and then he and Mommy will do sex."
Suddenly, Otto is interested.
"What?" "You know my daddy, the one who is old and has bad knees. He arrives at Terminal 8 at Kennedy Airport, but first he has to leave from London at King's Cross, which goes to Heathrow. And the plane from Heathrow leaves out of—"
No, Gus. The other part,"
says Otto, smiling.
"What does Daddy do when he gets home?"
Gus presses on with his explanation, ignoring the little detail his twin brother Henry whispered in his ear. Henry stands off to the side, smirking, while Gus continues with what really interests him, the stops on the A-line from Howard Beach. I see the slightly alarmed looks on the faces of the people waiting in line. Is it the content of Gus's chatter or the fact that he's hopping up and down while he delivers it? When he's happy and excited, which is much of the time, he hops. I'm so used to it I barely notice. But in that moment, I see our family the way the rest of the world sees us. The obnoxious teenager pretending he doesn't know us, the crazy jumping bean nattering on about the A-train, the frazzled fanny-pack sporting mother, now part of an unappetizing visual of two ancients on a booty call. Yet I want to turn to everyone in line and say, "You should all be congratulating us. Several years ago, Hoppy over there would hardly have been talking at all, and whatever he said would have been incomprehensible. Sure, we have a few glitches to work out, but you're missing the point. My son is ordering ham. Score!" You may recognize Gus as my autistic son, who recently enjoyed his 15 minutes of fame. I wrote a story for the New York Times called To Siri with Love, about his friendship with Siri, Apple's intelligent personal assistant. It was a simple piece about how this amiable robot provides so much to my communication-impaired kid. Not just information on arcane, sleep-inducing subjects. If you're not a herpetologist, I'm guessing you're about as eager as I am to talk about red-eared slider turtles. But also lessons in etiquette, listening, and what most of us take for granted.